This is the first time I've taken my multiple sketchbooks and loose practice sheets lying around and combined it into a complete sketchbook of its own. Terrible bookbinding job, also my first time trying it out, so I would not be a good, credible, experienced source to learn this from. The outcome is an overly handmade, wobbly looking thing. I always have a couple sketchbooks in rotation. Sometimes you want a smaller size or a heavier weight of paper for a different medium. I just cut out a period of work done. This is 2020 to 2022. So delayed. I'm a little ashamed calling art an hobby and being this slow at actually doing the hobby. I had planned to do a 2023 to 2025 combined, but there really is just not enough yet. That being said, instead of shaming myself, I'll do a quick walkthrough of what I have collected in this one. Since these were all single sheets, I ended up doing a perfect bind style, where you apply book glue on the spine. No threading needed. The tutorial I watched had made some slits before applying the glue, hence these marks you see here on each spread. My first piece is my Homer Simpson figurine study done in gouache. My first introduction to this medium. I love its dried matte look, and this was the first gouache piece I was proud of. Just realized though I forgot to add a line for his hair here. I will admit it was a struggle trying to find transitional swatches since it dries a different color than when it's applied on wet. You can see the chaotic colors test on the backside trying to figure out the right shades. Can't say I got the blending down here yet. The blends between colors wasn't as strong or too muddy looking. It was a good practice in patience though. The great pro for curating your own collected sketchbook is that you can choose what goes in it. I wanted to keep parts that were also practice as reminders of what I had learned and sketches that I never pushed through or restarted maybe. Seeing progression helps keep me motivated. I drew this study twice when I really should have just pushed through the ugly stage on the left. Over on this end is watercolor and pencil crayon, a combo I should do more. Carving out details like the crackling on this baked good is so much easier with pencil, and on the opposite end is Mr. Saitama from One Punch Man in an oil painting test. Oil takes forever to dry, maybe I should have added a varnish to future ones to maintain its color. The oil paintings have a base layer of gesso on the sheets before I started painting. Oil is such a beautiful, vibrant medium, I really love it, minus the fumes, and it does take more to set up. Sometimes I only do artwork on the right side of a sketchbook, and then I might flip the sketchbook upside down and then continue on the right, which is why some of the undersides of some collected drawings are completely upside down or maybe faced a different direction. Like the opening Homer Simpson being my first proud gouache medium piece, this was my first oil study piece that I was proud of, even though I didn't do the details of her hands on Miss Edna mode. This was a heavier paint stage for me, swapping between gouache, acrylic gouache, watercolor, and oil. Sometimes taking a break from a newly learned medium and returning to it, you feel like you have to learn everything again because you forgot certain characteristics and quirks of each. I can see in my sketches that I revisit trying to draw something like these raspberries in watercolor had some improvement, right? From the one you just saw to the older one. Or maybe I just didn't give up as early. Ignore this failed panyo. Here's another duplicate study of this aquatic creature in this small thumbnail up here. And then the older, larger one from earlier, if I can find it. I think I like the older one more though. It doesn't look as flat. I then enter my portrait era, mostly in pencil crayons, playing with regular HB shading pencils, mechanical pencils, shading stubs, and smudging. I was trying an option here where I shade only in one direction, so vertically, for the entire drawing. Some days practice felt easier than others. I think at some point after doing so many of these portrait head sketches, I was itching to try and do something else. I did a lot of charcoal studies that I really don't know why I threw out. I only found 3 to very messily stuff in here. I think next time I'll make a pocket to place these in and add a spray fixative so that they're not constantly smudging. This is where we get to 2022. I try to get back into gouache after having a long period of doing portrait sketches, charcoal sketches. I get back to doing paintings of stills and figurines that I have. It's really just what's conveniently around my desk. Of course, Saitama and Gundam Hello Kitty made the cut. These last pages of flowers are painted by my grandma when she was visiting. It's her contribution. And that sums up my first collected sketchbook, completed, completely from start to finish. One single sketchbook, all the way through, right? Is this cheating? I mean, I still put in the work. Now I can continue with using multiple sketchbooks and not have to force myself to bring around only one. I have so many more sketchbooks to fill out and collect, and journals too. If I'm gifted a book, I tend to have a hard time actually using it. It's very precious, you know? This beautiful set from my friend Andrew, I still haven't touched. It's a James Jean collection. It's too beautiful, I can't. But I also must, because it's a waste collecting dust. And this one, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. I need accordion sketchbook ideas. It feels like it has to have some kind of matching theme for the continuous pages. I don't know. Or maybe that's just me putting pressure on myself. If you made it this far, thanks. Remy thanks you too.